All right, guys, what is going on? This is episode 71 of the VF Cast. I am VF Baller. I really want to take the time right now to thank you guys for the support. Subscriber count has been up this month. You guys have been great rocking with me. Good, bad, or indifferent. Few videos that some people disagreed on, some people agreed with. Thank you guys for hitting the like button on the last video. Hopefully that continues. Hit the like button on this episode of the show. And for the most part, we're going to discuss these three topics. Usually on the VF cast, I try to have three topics to talk about throughout the things that happen over the month or things that happen close to the show being put together. And it's just basically surrounded by gaming. And I do one of these once a month. What used to be every 2 weeks, but now the once a month is kind of like the sweet spot, and everything in between is just videos I do throughout the month. So I want to thank you guys for rocking with me, and hopefully you like this content and decide to subscribe to the channel. It will really be appreciated. Today we're going to talk about Metal Gear Solid, the Master Collection Volume 1, why that has been a disaster. Also, we're going to talk about MK1, the Fatality DLC. I don't understand why that is a thing, but to be honest with you, it was around before, so it's not necessarily new. And we're going to talk about the PS5 as well. The PS5, the new PS5 coming out, the Slim. It needs a internet connection to work. We're going to talk about those things, and like I said, this is going to be pretty interesting. So hopefully you guys hang around, and this is going to be a pretty good show. So let's go ahead and talk about this really quick. Let's talk about the awesome, well, not so awesome, but the series is awesome. Metal Gear Solid 1, the drive, not I'm talking about the drive. Um Metal Gear Solid 1 Master Collection, which is I think the series itself is absolutely awesome. I love Metal Gear Solid from, I mean, all the way back to the NES days when they had the what was it called? I can't remember that. Snake's Revenge. I remember that one, and the old Metal Gear for NES. That was actually pretty cool. And I've been following the series ever since then, and I've been playing the games and having fun with them. But I was kind of, I wasn't really I wasn't really into trying to get this master collection, to be honest with you. I already have the HD collection, which is right here. This is this is for the PlayStation 3. This is a great collection. You get Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, and Peace Walker. And the first one, Metal Gear Solid 1, if you got that on PS1, you could play that on your PS3 as well. And I actually think it runs really well. You play it in 1080p on your PS3, although it's upscaled, it runs just like it would on a PS1. Unfortunately, these games here, they're on the PC, which those have a whole bunch of other problems I really don't want to get into. But for console people, you're playing these games at 1080p, targeting 60 frames per second. I don't even know if this actually stable 60 frames. I know this right here definitely is, especially Peace Walker. Peace Walker runs very well, even though it's 720p, it runs at 60 frames, and I can live with that. I don't think I need to be paying all this money, well, paying more money to get this, version, and these games aren't in 4K. If they're running on PS5, and hell, even if they're running on PS4, at least on the PS4 Pro, these things should be running at 4K, whether it be checkerboarded or not. These games aren't hard to run at 60 frames. I mean, Metal Gear Solid 2 was at 60 frames on the PS2. So it shouldn't be that hard. But with that being said, I'm going to pass on this. I mean, I said I was going to pass on it before. I'm going to probably try Metal Gear Delta, and I'm very worried about Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2, which from what I hear, they're supposed to actually remake Metal Gear Solid 4, which that game really needs a remake. It really needs, I ain't gonna say it needs a remake. At the very least, it needs a remaster. And the remaster of that would be phenomenal, but I'm not sure if it's going to be anything better than what we see here. This was a Blue Point Games port, and people are already saying that it is absolutely a Blue Point port because in the menus it says the game was copyrighted back in 2012. Well, this was put together back in 2012. So that's what you're getting. And it's really disheartening. It is really disheartening because you know Konami could have done better, but it's Konami. So what are we asking? What are we talking about? So for me, hard pass. I'm very suspect about Metal Gear Solid Volume 2. Um, see me, I'm a little different. Even though I have a PS5, I'm really content playing my PS3. I'm very content playing my PS3 for certain games. I think the PS3 holds up very well. And in some cases, if you put the PS3 on a 4K TV, yeah, you're going to see some jaggies. But for the most part, those games are fairly good. I just wish that there were more 60 frame per second games. I wish there were more games targeted 720p at 60 frames, but that's a whole nother story. They do have 60 frame per second games on it, but they're just not enough, and it's pretty disheartening. But I don't mind playing the PS4, PS5, Xbox One, or whatever. But the PS3, I think a lot of people, you know, they don't. I think people forget how solid and stable that console really is. Yeah, it started off rocky, but it turned out to be pretty good, and it runs very good games to this day. And some of the games in that collection are absolutely phenomenal. It's one of the reasons why, like I said, this right here, is absolutely awesome. So, yeah, not only that, you still got Metal Gear Solid 4 over there, and you got Metal Gear Solid 5 and the Ground Zeroes actually on PS3. Really interesting how those games still over there, but I really don't know how those games run like that because I've been playing those on, other consoles. But nevertheless, it sucks that the Master Collection's coming out. It came out the way it did. It says it's 60 frames per second, 1080p. It says it targets 60 frames per second. These games should be 4K, and there shouldn't be no reason why they can target 60 frames at 1080p when, like I said, Metal Gear Solid 2 was 60 frames on PS2. But what can you do? It's really sad. All right, let's jump to the next topic. Mortal Kombat 1 paid DLC for Fatality. This is nothing new, to be honest. They did this with Mortal Kombat. I think it was XL. They had a Mortal Kombat DLC pack, which gave us the old school fatalities. This is not really new. It is scummy. It is. I can't. I'm gonna say I can't get with it, but this is the day and age that we live in. It's up to you if you want to buy this or not. What I did for the most, I just waited till Mortal Kombat XL came out and I got everything. So I have the entire game on that disc. I originally bought Mortal Kombat X on the PC, and like I said, I waited when there was a bundle, and I think I got the XL pack for like $3 or something like that. And I didn't even want it for the fatalities. I just wanted it for the skins, and it was like $3 on Steam. But to me, that wasn't enough. I wanted a actual copy of the game, and that's what I did. I have the copy of XL on PS4, and it's one of the best investments that I got. MKXL is an excellent game, but Mortal Kombat 1, I don't think Mortal Kombat 11 did this. I'm not 100% certain. I can't remember. I bought the ultimate version of that as well. But I think Mortal Kombat 1, this is not new. It sucks. It's a Halloween one. So, but the thing about that is this DLC could be taken away. Like once November 1st comes, this DLC could be gone, and the only way you can get this fatality if you want to do it by other means. I don't know. They say this fatality is like it's $10. Wow, that is wow. It says for 1,200 dragon crystals, or since 250 costs $10, yeah, it's around about $10 for a fatality. That is wild. So not only you pay for the whole game, then you already probably pay for the premium version. Some people probably pay like premium or whatever. Then turn back around, you got to pay for a Halloween fatality. This is the scummy part I'm talking about. That is ridiculous. I don't understand how they get away with this. I don't think they should get away with it. But hey, what can you do? Like I said, people are buying this stuff, and to be honest with you, I feel like I'm probably a part of the problem because I bought the pack on the XL pack on Steam, albeit it was for sale, but I bought it so they felt like I'm a part of that algorithm that actually likes this kind of stuff. You know, if I was you guys, if you're on console, I'll probably just wait until they bring out the entire game on one disc. I mean, it's kind of like that's what the Street Fighter tactic. That's what Street Fighter end up doing. I don't know if they will do that with Mortal Kombat 1. They may not even do that for this DLC Fatality, which is that like I said, it sucks. It really does. I heard Mortal Kombat 1 is a great game. I haven't bought it yet, but I'll probably end up buying it. I don't know if I'm gonna get this DLC though, not for $10. They're gonna have to add this to the game later on. They're gonna have to. They're gonna have to come out with one disc with everything on it. I just don't see them just leaving this for just Halloween. That would be really, really, that would be terrible. It's a direction that I really wouldn't want NetherRealm to go in, but here we are. I don't know what else to say about that. And last but not least, we're going to talk about the PS5. Sony revamped the PS5, and it's a slim model, but you gotta have internet access to set it up. Weird. I'm not necessarily, this right here doesn't really bother me, to be honest. It's kind of crazy that it has to do this, but it doesn't bother me because I wouldn't. I'm gonna be quiet. I think PlayStation wasted money on making this type of console. They didn't. I don't believe they had to do this to make a slim console with the detachable drive. I mean, why is it detachable? What are you going to do? You could take it out and put it on another PS5. I mean, this is weird. So, if you see on the screen right here at the bottom, it says the internet connection is required to pair the disk drive in the PS5. And let's see. In theory, I'm looking at this on TheVerge.com, and they said in theory this is supposed to how it works. It says based on how Sony has previously linked this optical drive and motherboards, there's a requirement to handshake between the two hardware components that validate the authenticity and creates a unique pairing between them. Once you've done that, there will be no need for an internet connection again. But people saying, but the fact that once it says already alarmed some people who are envisioning a long time future. You shouldn't. This is a console for people, in my opinion, for people who don't want a long term solution or you don't collect your consoles. If you're a console collector, you're not trying to invest time into this console. This is a console you're just going to collect. If you're going to use this to play for the long term, me personally, I wouldn't do it because there could be an issue where the internet connection may be needed to continue to use the drive, and like what happens if the server shut down or whatever server that's responsible for the verification, what happens there? I mean, I don't know. Me personally, I like the fact that I have the bigger version of the PS5 and the CMOS battery thing is not an issue, so I'll forever be able to play my games because Sony listened when the CMOS battery issue was a deal. I don't trust this because if it has this type of issue, this is something that I probably won't be getting involved with. To be quite honest, once everything goes like digital, which more likely it will, that'll probably be the end of me really, really taking, modern gaming seriously. I'll probably just be a casual guy on PC and I have all this physical media to deal with until I decide to sell it off or give it to a museum or something. I don't see myself actually buying a whole bunch of a digital digital hardware, a whole bunch of digital games for like the PlayStation 6 or the next Xbox. I just don't see that. I mean, even right now, when I look at certain games that's on the current consoles, there's only two games I want to play. It's Alan Wake 2 and Spider-Man 2. there's nothing out, and I could probably buy those digital and don't think nothing of it. You know, I mean, the only game I'll probably buy is Alan Wake 2 because that's physical, because I really like the game. I mean, Spider-Man is an amazing game, but I'm not really into the superhero type games like that, so I'll probably casually play it. But as far as like trying to get a digital collection like I have my physical collection, that's out the door. And Sony's probably trying to drive people to that, but I think they waited. I think they wasted a lot of money on making this console. I don't think the detachable drive is like, I don't know. This is something I probably will not buy. It's just no reason for me to get it. I'm not a big fan of digital only consoles. Like I had the Xbox Series S. I had the S when it first came out, and that's cool. I think it's a pretty neat device, but when I look at it, it was looking at something like I don't want to play that. You know what I'm saying? Because it just I gotta have some sort of attachment to my games, and that's one of the reasons why if it's digital, it's probably gonna be on my PC, and I think nothing of it. You know, and I think that's just the where that's gonna be. But as far as this goes, this is this is probably like I said, this is probably the beginning of where I get off on the gaming train. Like I love getting new technology, but or new consoles and stuff. But when you start getting stuff like this, yeah, I probably won't purchase any of this. I don't see myself doing it. I gotta have a disc drive in my consoles. If not, I'll just play on my PC, which is already all digital for the most part, and just go there. If there's a game that I really want to play that's exclusive to these consoles, because like Xbox is probably out the window. Xbox exclusivity is out the window. All that stuff is coming to PC in some form of fashion. But as far as Sony, if there's something I really want to play, that'll be the only exception. That's something that I really want to play. It got to be something like, if let's say the new Uncharted comes out and it's only digital, like or something like that. It has to be one of those very new games that I know that I'm going to play. And if it's only digital and it's only on that console, that I may take an exception to that. And it's going to be really hard for me to actually say, hey, I'm going to get that. So that's pretty much it, man. I don't know what else to say. All three of these topics are like negative. I mean, gaming is supposed to be celebrated, but you look at this stuff, it's actually pretty pathetic. So I don't know what else to say about it. It's kind of sad, but at the end of the day, starting next month when I start doing it, we're gonna get back to the positive stuff. Talk about things that really, celebrate gaming, because this stuff ain't it. It really ain't. So I'm gonna get out of here. If you haven't already hit the like button, I really would appreciate it. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you for the support. We're a little bit over 300 subs. I want to try to go ahead and get to that 400, 500, get to 1,000, and keep it moving, because you guys make this go. You guys absolutely make this go. I really appreciate you guys, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I really would appreciate it, because we're gonna keep making content over here. All right, y'all. I'll see you guys on the next one. Y'all take it easy. Y'all have a good one. Peace.